Today I'll be taking the world's longest flight all the way from Singapore across the globe to New York City.
Well, hello friends and good morning and welcome once again back to Changi Airport where I left you off the last time. Today is going to be a really great day because I'm taking the world's longest flight, and now initially I booked that in premium economy class, but when I checked in there was an option to upgrade at a pretty good price. So I took advantage of that and I'm really excited that today we're actually going to be flying business class on the world's longest flight. So it's going to be a pretty cool experience. Join me along for the ride.
And we're going to experience all that this flight has to offer, from the lounge to the great service on board, with many delicious meals and of course a comfortable flatbed seat. Later on I'll show you exactly how you can book this flight for as little as $5 by using points that you can easily earn, or maybe you already have.
Yo, my name's Jeff and this is my 2022 Around the World Tour.
I arrived at Changi Airport early in the afternoon, and as you can see, it wasn't busy at all. So I made my way over to the business class check-in, and my bag was quickly on its way.
I'm standing here in Jewel inside of Changi Airport. This is a really cool feature that would normally have the world's largest indoor waterfall. I'll throw in some B-roll from the last time we were here so you can check that out. I booked this flight with cash. This is not a points deal. However, I will show you later on in the video how you can actually book this with points starting at only $5 flying from New York City. So we're going to be going from Singapore Changi Airport to JFK in New York. It's going to take roughly 18.5 hours, and let's see how it goes. That's a really long flight.
It was really warm in Jewel, so I decided to head right over to the Singapore KrisFlyer Lounge, which had recently been refurbished. You'll find a bartender as well as a self-service bar, and plenty of delicious local food on offer. You'll find a lot of beverages, and so I went with a Diet Coke and a little pre-flight snack.
Well, I made it to the Singapore KrisFlyer Lounge for business class. This lounge is really cool, and I think it's been renovated since we were here last because it's really beautiful and the food selection's amazing. I actually noticed, unfortunately after I got my food, that they have laksa, one of my favorite dishes to eat here in Singapore. So I'm just gonna have a light meal here and then head over to the gate and board our plane. Okay, I changed my mind. How could I pass up my favorite dish, the Singapore laksa noodles here in the lounge? Yum. Now I was really excited to see that there's actually a pretty good deal to upgrade when I checked in, because when I booked this flight about a week ago, there were actually no seats available in business class, so I thought I'd just be spending my time in premium economy, which actually isn't really bad on Singapore Airlines. Now I'm going to head over to gate B10. Today I'm going to be in seat 27A, which I think is even behind the wing. The interesting thing about this plane is this is an Airbus A350 ultra long range. It was a special plane designed for Singapore Airlines to be able to fly these ultra long haul routes. This one only has premium economy and business class on board. So actually most of the plane is entirely business class. So I'm a bit curious to see how the service stacks up when you have that much business class on a single flight.
Today's long flight covers nearly half the circumference of the planet, heading out northeast past Japan, then reaching North America via Alaska and over Canada's territories, before heading southeast towards New York City.
So some of you may have seen the first flight review I did way back in 2019, but I made the video just over a year ago, and that was on Singapore Airlines in the old first class suites. And we did a little bit of an in-depth tour of the airport. So this place is kind of like an AvGeek paradise. If you want to kill a lot of time in an airport, this is the one to do it. And I'm going to link that video below if you want to check that out as well and see a little bit more about Singapore, what I love about Singapore, and what I love about this airport. All the security is done right at the gates. So the only thing that was kind of disappointing last time is there was no way to get any type of beverages once you get through. This is the only aircraft that can actually currently fly these long haul routes. However, Qantas just signed a deal with Airbus to produce an Airbus A350-1000 that's going to be able to fly the over 20-hour marathon routes all the way from New York and London to Sydney.
Looks like we won't be turning left today, but it still beats the alternative, right?
All right, here we go. Very excited to jump on the world's longest flight. 18.5 hours from here in Singapore across the world to New York City. And here we are, seat 27A.
Welcome aboard Singapore Airlines. We hope you have a great time on board, as well as in Singapore or anywhere else in the world we take you.
Welcome on board the very beautiful Singapore Airlines business class. Now, I've ridden in the older Singapore Airlines business class seat, and one of the things that I noticed right away, just like the older seat, is that it's incredibly wide and spacious. And I also love the design of the seat and the way the screen is positioned so close to you. The TV control is very conveniently placed right next to you. And down here you've got the tray that pops out. There's some storage over here which has a water bottle, and it looks like a pair of Bose noise-canceling headphones inside. There's really no shortage of storage because right here you've got another place to put some things. Down here you've got a nice mirror if you want to give yourself a look. Over here there's another pocket which you can put some things in, but apparently not for taxi, takeoff, and landing. And right over here we've got all the power ports, a couple USBs, universal power outlet, an HDMI input, and even one of those old school iPod inputs. And over here we've got our safety card and something fortunately I've never had to use, an air sickness or a barf bag. It also seems there's quite a bit of extra storage underneath here.
On behalf of Singapore Airlines, welcome aboard our flight SQ24, and this is the world's longest regularly scheduled commercial flight. We will be flying a distance of 9,001 nautical miles, which is approximately 16,670 kilometers. In the meantime, sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight.
The friendly service started shortly after takeoff with a beverage service.
Bourbon on the rocks. Gonna enjoy that. They passed out some of the almonds that I'm very familiar with as well, almonds and cashews. And warm welcome from the flight crew, greeted by name, great service. Just looking forward to the next 17 hours and 15 minutes on board. Cheers.
Bose noise-canceling headphones are provided with the special 3-prong port, which I believe powers the noise-canceling feature so you don't have to have a battery. Time to bring up the table for the first of many meals on board. I was also impressed that there were a few channels of live TV available to watch as well. There were no printed menus today, so I'll show you what was available on the app. You'll see later on that the second meal service seems to be the highlight. There are also other items like noodles and other snacks available if you're still hungry after all that.
Alright, nice start to the meal service. Got a beautiful salad and garlic bread. And my main course arrived, and I love the blue rice. This looks so cool. Food's really amazing. This is definitely along the lines of what I was looking to eat today. And the grand finale is going to be this wonderful vanilla ice cream dish. Clearly I brought my appetite today because I think this is my third meal of the day, and it's 1:30 of local Singapore time. Food's so good, how can you not? And to be honest, I could keep eating. This is probably one of the best, most tastiest business class meals I've ever had. I loved I think you could probably tell, I loved all of it. It was so good. The level of service is absolutely phenomenal, as always, with the Singapore Airlines, the world's best cabin crew, as far as I'm concerned.
Back in the loo for another review. This one is a bit small but kept nice and clean throughout the flight. Plenty of paper towels, tissues, and cups, but I wouldn't drink that water. There's also a drawer full of amenities in case you need anything else. You can open the trash with your foot, and the sink is touchless unless you need to control the temperature. There was facial mist, hand lotion, and if you start to smell bad after an 18-hour flight, you can cover it up with this. There are toilet seat covers and plenty of TP. A well-stocked loo overall, but we don't need to watch this part. As we were passing by the Philippines, a flight attendant folded the seat down into a nice comfy bed. So you know what's coming next.
Well, friends, it's time for another episode of Pillow Talk, everybody's second favorite segment on the HD Jeff channel. So one of the cabin crew helped me convert the seat into the flatbed, and similar to the Virgin Atlantic flight I took last month, This one folds down into a bed. It doesn't recline into a bed. But I did notice when we were trying to get into the flatbed that you can actually get a little bit more recline than I thought earlier, so that's good. But we'll probably keep it for this, like, for quite a while, because I'm going to try and get a nap here. So anyway, in today's episode, we're going to talk about in-flight pajamas, and they're not provided on this flight. And some of you may follow Dennis Bunnick, who has always said for the longest time, I'll never forget this, that don't ever wear your business class pajamas in economy class because you'll be an a-hole. Now, unfortunately, on the business class with Singapore Airlines, they don't provide any pajamas. So I did reach out to him, and he said that yes, indeed, it is okay to wear first class pajamas in business class. So that's what we're doing today. If you know of any others that offer pajamas, leave a comment below and let me know. So I'm going to try and get a little bit more sleep in and then really enjoy the flatbed. It feels really comfortable. Everything about this seat I really love. A lot of people have criticized how you lie down at an angle, but I kind of like it. I'm more of like a side or a stomach sleeper, so I'll be able to, lie down on my side and just watch the TV off to the side here. So I think it's a really great arrangement. One of the things that Amanda had me do in Singapore was pick up like several $100s worth of all of her favorite skincare products. So I bought about 10 of these things in Singapore, and I'm gonna put one on now and see what it's like.
Well, this warming eye mask was not only extremely relaxing, but very stylish too.
So we're about halfway through the flight now and on to the dinner service, which is really fantastic. The meal service on board is just absolutely phenomenal. I've enjoyed every single thing so far. The dinner service seems to be the main event. So we start off with chicken satay for canapes. We had a duck breast appetizer, and the main course is going to be the chicken rice. I did manage to get some sleep earlier in the flight, so that was nice, and I'll probably take another nap a little bit later on, and then we'll check out a few other things like the amenity kit.
For the second meal, I went with another local classic, Hainanese chicken rice, which was served with bok choy, one of my favorite vegetables. And after I cleared my plate, this put me right back to sleep until I woke up over Yellowknife in the Northwest Territories.
Well, time flies when you're having fun, and time also flies when you're sleeping, and I have slept probably more on this flight than I ever have in the air in my entire life. We've got less than 4 hours left, and I even watched a full movie all the way through. I keep falling asleep, so according to my watch, I just slept almost 4 hours uninterrupted after our last meal service. One thing I haven't done yet, though, is cracked into the amenity kit, so let's check this out.
The amenity kits are passed out upon request here, which was mentioned in the in-flight menu, so be sure to request one. She also brought along some other items for me as well. The amenity kit contains a 311 bag, which is great if you're connecting within the US and have to go through security again. We've also got body lotion, lip balm, and my favorite amenity, facial mist. I was also given socks, a toothbrush, and an eye mask separately, but you'll find extras in the loo if you need anything else.
I can't say I ever heard of facial mist before flying on some of these fancy business class flights, but it's definitely very refreshing. It feels great. And of course, I'll have to try on the eye mask so you can see what that looks like.
Wi-Fi is available complimentary in business class, however that is limited to only 100 megabytes, which can go pretty quick. I didn't use it too much and managed to make it last the entire flight. Even though I didn't watch any movies, there is an incredible selection available, including a lot of new releases and Hollywood blockbusters, and many types of Asian films as well. Unfortunately, there are no individual vents, but the cabin temperature was quite comfortable, and I do prefer to keep it a bit on the cool side. As I failed to do the loo review yet again, the flight attendant converted the bed back into a chair to get us ready for landing.
So unfortunately, we only got about an hour left to go on this flight, and I was just really enjoying the whole thing. I got tons of sleep on the plane. The service is absolutely phenomenal, as it always is on Singapore Airlines. I love how incredibly friendly it is and how attentive they are. So I found the seat to be very comfortable. I know some people have complained that the footwell is too tight. I don't think it is. It's probably one of the most comfortable business class seats that I've flown in, to be honest. Now, even when I've done this flight in premium economy in the back cabin, I still really enjoy that as well. So if you have the opportunity to fly long haul on Singapore Airlines, I can't recommend it enough. It's going to be a huge step above what you're going to get with any of the US airlines, including my favorite, United. And I think you're going to have a great time. I think I do still prefer the type of seat that reclines into a flatbed rather than one that folds down like this. But as you could see, we just kept it in the flatbed until just now, just about an hour before the end of the flight.
And even though I was no longer very hungry, I was still encouraged to take a snack before landing and another Diet Coke caffeine blast to power me through the final part of my journey ahead.
It's been a pleasure having you on board on behalf of Singapore Airlines. Thank you for flying with us. We wish you a pleasant evening. Cabin crew, please prepare for arrival.
It's been a pleasure serving you on this flight. Thank you for flying Singapore Airlines, a member of Star Alliance.
Well, with the conclusion of that great service, let's enjoy a beautiful afternoon landing at JFK. I booked this one-way flight in premium economy for 1,313 Singapore dollars, or about 950 US dollars. I was offered an upgrade within 72 hours of departure on the airline's app for 1,770 Singapore dollars, or about 1,250 US dollars. When I do that math, this actually makes it the biggest splurge I've ever done on a flight, so please do me a favor and smash the like button, subscribe, and maybe even share this video with all your friends. The likes and subscribes are free, and that would really help me out. Thank you so much. The more affordable way to book this flight is by using Singapore Airlines KrisFlyer miles, and believe it or not, you can transfer a lot of different points to Singapore's KrisFlyer program, such as points from American Express, Citi, Capital One, and more. Now, this route will typically run you about 115,000 points for a Saver Award. However, they do regularly have sales on certain routes, and I've seen this route for under 70,000 points as recently as earlier this year.
All right, and there we have an amazing flight on Singapore Airlines, the world's longest flight all the way from Singapore to JFK, halfway across the planet. Thank you so much, take care. Well, that sure went by fast. I think I'm a little sad that it's over, but I'm really excited to get home after just over a week away. All right, another change of plans. I was going to fly home on JetBlue from here at JFK to Worcester. As usual, JetBlue is very unreliable, and once again, they have delayed my flight significantly, so I decided to cancel that, and instead I'm gonna be traveling on Hertz in a Toyota. Well, I guess this concludes the 2022 Around the World Tour. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed the other videos, I'll link a playlist below and you can check them out there. Please subscribe because I'll have some really cool videos coming up in the future, and I'd love to hear where you think I should go next, so leave a comment below and let me know. Yo, my name's Jeff, and I believe that travel helps build a more peaceful planet, and I hope you'll join me on my next journey. Peace out.
It's a brand new day. It's a brand new day.
If you enjoyed this video, watch this one next, where I found an insane deal to fly in Singapore Airlines' newest first class suites, which only cost about 50,000 points and about 50 US dollars.